Hello, church family. Just want to address a couple of things as we prepare to reassemble on Sundays. We all are certainly looking forward to a time when everyone will feel safe and be able to come back on Sundays and worship together and fellowship. And I know many of us are very anxious to do that. At the same time, we want to make sure that it is a safe environment and that everyone who does come through those doors, whether it be members or visitors, are able to participate and be in a place that they do feel very welcome, very safe, and that with their best interests in mind. The elders have been monitoring everything very closely. They've been listening to the reports. They've been listening to the governor. They've been listening to everything pertaining to safety, and especially having a vast number, as we hope to have on that first Sunday. But I do want to address a couple of things as we do get near to that. Of course, all of this is contingent on whether or not we are in stage 3, as the government has laid out, and so that we can have an environment that will not violate any laws, that will not enable anyone on the outside to see us as being careless in any way. We do have the members and the visitors in the as the most important, obviously, when we do get together. But there are a couple of things that I would like to kind of go over as we continue to do this and as we meet together again. The most important thing that we could ever do is to be considerate of one another. James says to be quick to listen and slow to speak. And I know at a time like this, there are a lot of emotions that are going on. There's a lot of agreements and disagreements as far as the numbers that are coming out and those who have obviously been affected by the COVID virus. And we certainly want to appeal to that and the guidelines and the safety and the medical advice that has been given. But no matter what is said on the news, no matter what is being said in the media, whether you agree or disagree with everything, it is important for us to be considerate one of another. We are Christians and we're a Christian family, and that is such an important thing to God. And just keep in mind that, even this might seem like a long time, these couple of months that we are apart like this, but when you look at the eternal structure of what heaven's going to be, this is just a drop in the bucket. This is nothing compared to what we're going to have in eternity, and looking forward to a time when none of this is even going to be present. But until that time, we want to make sure that we are considerate of one another. And I want to do this addressing a couple of different things specifically. Number one, please be considerate of those who are not in attendance. I realize that there are some who are apprehensive about getting out, and even though we might be reopening certain places and church buildings and having assemblies once again, there are those who are considered high risk that are very nervous about getting out, and we need to be sensitive to that. They are brothers and sisters in Christ, and it is important that we exercise that kind of respect and give them the attention that they deserve, that until the time that they feel that they are safe enough to get out and go to different places, and especially a worship assembly. And so this is not a time to point fingers. It is not a time to judge. It is not a time to do anything except to exercise that kind of consideration and compassion to those who might still be indoors. There will be a time when everyone will feel safe enough that they will be able to return here. We don't know the date. We don't know when each person is going to feel safe enough, but certainly we want to exercise that compassion and make sure that everyone is provided for. Check up on those people that are at home. Give them a call. Continue to socialize, through the means that we do have. Call or write a card, whatever the case is, and make sure that we keep checking up on people to see if they are doing okay. And we do look forward to seeing everyone again, and I do as best I can to try to keep up. I know sometimes I fall short in how I feel like, that I get out there and see people, but I do look forward to being together with our church family. The second thing is to be considerate of those who are in attendance. If you're at home and you don't feel safe about coming out, certainly no one is going to be judging, or they should not be judging, rather. I know the elders have laid out the parameters, saying that if you do not feel safe, to stay home until you do. But at the same time, those who are feeling unsafe or concerned about going out and they are staying home, please be considerate of those who are in attendance. There are some that do feel safe enough about being out, and they are looking forward to getting back together as soon as they possibly can. And in either case, it's there's nothing wrong with it. But please, if for those who do feel confident and comfortable enough to reassemble when the doors do open, that please make sure that you exercise the same compassion that they should be giving to you, and don't judge, don't point fingers. Certainly, for either group, do not. This is no time to argue or disagree on different things, even though you might feel passionately about it one way or another. But we want to make sure that that this fellowship, this church family, is as close as we can be, and remain as solid as we deserve. Certainly, with what God has purposed us to be. We know there are going to be different emotions. We know that there are going to be different feelings, and some of those can be pretty strong. But please know that everyone is doing what they feel comfortable doing, and so we want to make sure that we give each other the flexibility and the leeway that they certainly deserve. And the third one is to be considerate of one another. Those who are here, please be respectful to each other. And when we come in through those doors, as you can see with the all of the pews, and we look forward to filling those pews once again and seeing so many smiling faces and having the fellowship in the aisles and before and after services, not during, but before and after, to be able to talk and laugh again and be able to be together. But be considerate one of another for those who are here. There are some, even though they will be in attendance, they still have some concerns, and don't be taken aback or if someone does come in and wearing a mask. We want to practice everything that we can to make sure that it is a comfortable place to be. Please make sure that you practice social distancing, and that is being 6 feet apart from each other, and you can tell that how far is an adequate amount, and we may be distancing every other row in the pews for the auditorium, and we will adjust as needed when we do assemble again. But please make sure that you do respect and are considerate one of each other, and just greet each other. Don't take it personally if someone doesn't shake your hand, or if they stand a few feet away from you when they talk to you. And please and at the same time do that, extend them the courtesy as well. But we want to make sure that as we get back together, as we do reopen our doors, and hopefully that will be in June. Of course, again, this is contingent on whether or not we are in stage 3, so that we are cooperative with what the government is allowing us to open our doors, just as they want to make sure that every place is opening their doors. This is an inconvenience for many people. We certainly don't want to be quarantined or isolation of any kind, but at the same time, we need to be mindful of those who are around us and make sure that, think beyond the walls of just the building here. All the government is saying, and all they have said, is that we cannot assemble in a place that, that the doors just need to remain shut in large groups. As you can see over the last couple of months here, it does not stop us from worshiping. The government has not stopped us from worshiping, and thus it is not religious discrimination in any way. But they've been fair, I think, across the board as far as what places can close, what places cannot. I believe we are an essential gathering. The government, has different parameters, obviously, with what they sing, but we need to be mindful also that not everyone is in Christ. Not everyone understands the Bible the same way. And so we want to make sure that we do not bring reproach against the church. And certainly we don't want the community thinking that we are reckless or careless in any way. And that is the reason why the elders have chosen to remain closed as far as the building is concerned during this time. But I do enjoy hearing from everyone and how they've met together and how they've used Zoom and other social media means to be able to have worship services within their homes. It's not normal per se, as in modern days. We do have the congregation, and everyone loves being together, and I certainly am looking forward to it. But at the same time, I'm thankful that we are able to still worship and sing together and learn together, as in the confines of wherever we are. And so while this is a minor setback for a few months, and it has introduced new concerns and so forth, nevertheless, we still are a church family. But be considerate of one another when we do get back together, and please give the elders the benefit of the doubt. They are not making these decisions easily. They are everything that is being decided is being carefully thought out, carefully considered, and they are keeping the congregation at the foremost of their minds. They want the very best for every person who is in this congregation. You mean so much to them. You mean a lot to me. I do love you, and I've been praying for you constantly, and we look forward to getting back whenever that may be. Hopefully June 7th. That's the target date, and if everything is going well and they do open stage 3 by that time, stage 2 is open pretty much everywhere in Northern California, and stage 3 is right around the corner. And so as soon as they give the approval on that, we will move as fast as we possibly can to get the doors reopened. But again, be considerate of one another, pray for one another, check up on one another, and make sure that everyone is taken care of the way that they deserve, and given the kind of treatment and the flexibility and certainly the compassion that they deserve as well. But until we meet again and fill these seats and come in through those doors, may the Lord be with you, and I pray for everyone.